Socialite.
This is VRChat, a place where connecting with a VR headset or desktop computer will allow you to interact with other users. In some ways, it is similar to the popular teen game Roblox, where users can make their own custom worlds for others to join. The primary difference between Roblox and VRChat is that VRChat's developers allow 18+ worlds and avatars, so long as you don't use them in public. Today, we are going to be investigating a community that some would argue are on the edge of that line.
That went into my finger. That's a lot of blood, though. That's a lot of blood. It's a lot of blood. It's a lot of blood.
These are some of the numerous VRChat little communities. This leads into the question, what exactly is a little? When someone is little, or in little headspace, they are undergoing what is known as age regression. Age regression, as described by professionals, is when a person regresses mentally into a younger state of mind. It can be used as a tool for coping with trauma or even just things like anxiety or depression. I guess you can look at it as feeling as if you were living back in a simpler time, before something happened or when things weren't so difficult. Now, we should hear from Lillith, somebody who actively runs and participates in one of the groups that we just talked about.
I am Lillith Murphy YT. I am the owner of Mama Lillith's Daycare. Mama Lillith's Daycare is a place to help people cope with their trauma and mental health issues. For me, age regression is to go into your little self state of mind so you can de-stress from your day-to-day of being an adult, and you're regressing from your traumas and your stress. Some people prefer being regressed than going to a therapist, which it does cost a lot. Nowadays, it's very expensive to go into therapy, into like a doctor's office, stuff like that. I don't allow children in my servers at all. I started with 13 and up, like when they're like in their teens, but I'm starting to see the problem with some people who are still more childlike than adult, and I'm about to bump up my age group to like 16+.
I think it goes without saying that a 13-year-old is too immature for this space. I mean, how can you participate as an age regressor when 9 years old was literally 4 years ago? At this point, I asked her about the differences between age regression and age play. I feel that it's in her best interest to differentiate the two because she allows minors in her spaces.
Oh, age play. Age play, you're seeing your quote-unquote little self. It's not little. Very, very different and very disgusting. You're acting like a child, and your partner is sexualizing you as a child, which is, from my opinion, pedophilia.
Lillith clearly states that she disapproves of age play. Some people in her community feel differently.
I call my caregiver daddy. That's simple as that.
Who's your daddy?
He doesn't play this game, but we're moving in together in a few days.
So your boyfriend or not?
Taking you here.
Yeah.
Why?
So
He's
you
also
call
my
him dad?
caregiver. Well, I think there's a group of people that do it safe for work and not safe for work, and I think as long as people keep it NSFW and private, then it's not even a big deal.
What two consenting adults do is none of my business. The problem is when you expose minors to that kind of rhetoric. This is just one instance of me seeing something minor, so who knows what could happen when I'm not watching.
For age regression, it is totally different. It's safe for work. Everything that you do, you have a caretaker. That caretaker is taking care of you like if you were their child. As a caretaker, it's my responsibility to take care of said child, quote unquote, little. My only job is to love and care for them, take care of them if they're a baby, play with them with the toys. There is watching movies with your little, sometimes play tag. Most of them love to play tag. I tickle them. If most of them have phantom sense, so they would have this little sensation of being tickled. It's cute when you hear the little giggles.
Let's take a look at one of these interactions.
This is one of the littles I take care of. Ori. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hello, Astro. You have no shirt on. Okay.
I also wanted to show this situation that I discovered about Lilith. She didn't really mention this before, so this was a pretty big surprise to me, especially because of her point of view.
That's Mama, and I'll show you where Daddy is. This is Daddy.
So like your VR parents?
They are my co-owners and also the owners of this group.
Are they like your VR parents?
No, not even. I call them that, but I am technically their submissive. They're little. Things like that. Their girlfriend.
Oh, so that's more of like an age play thing rather than an age regression thing?
No, not really. More like, I slip into little space a lot, so I just decided to call them that all the time.
But you said you're Lilith's girlfriend or just this guy?
Technically both. It's a thing.
Again, it isn't our business what two consenting adults do behind closed doors, no matter how weird. So moving on from that, I asked Lilith what the worst incident that had occurred in her group was.
One of the kids got, well, kids, quote unquote, they're in the group instance, and these people came into the group, asked, they're called fake caregivers. They came in the group and told the kids, quote unquote kids, if they wanted them to change their diaper, but they it. They'll literally act it all out. Like, I'm taking off your diaper. I'm cleaning this part of you. I'm cleaning that part of you. And I'm rubbing very slowly. It's like, what? They made a lot of people uncomfortable. Most of the littles got victimized to it. And they were banned.
Is this something the littles played along with, though?
The littles... Some littles do, like, say they like being diaper changed, but not in a way. They like it to be, like, if they're a baby, if you're doing something, I'm gonna kick you immediately.
Really, 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 really weird. But I digress. I think we've seen and heard enough from Lilith and her group to get a decent understanding of what they stand for and how they operate. In saying that, my only complaint is that her group was 13 plus. But what can I do? VRChat's minimum age limit is 13 plus. Anyways, up next, I'm going to show you the bad side. The person you're about to hear from is a minor who runs a group in this space. I'm going to put their voice through an artificial voice changer and hide their name for their protection. If you have aversions to things like online predators, I suggest you skip forward. I'll put a timestamp for you.
I'm 14 years old and I am the owner of a group for Little Space and people that take care of littles. The purpose of the group is to help people cope by going into Little Space and help people have fun and make friends. Nothing in it is NSFW. It's mainly a coping mechanism that's completely innocent and for people to go back into their childhood basically and have fun like they would while they were a kid. The minimum age limit of the group is 13 because that's the age limit for the game itself, and frankly there shouldn't be anyone under the age of 13 on this game. And the maximum, there is none, mainly because I've been run into someone that was too old for the group, and the oldest person we have, he's 33, and the reason being why there's no age limit is because age regression is for basically all ages. Discriminating someone because they're older would be a bit difficult because most older people would just leave and go find a fervor for their own age, which has happened.
So her argument is that it's difficult to moderate adults in her space because they end up leaving anyways. That doesn't really make sense to me, but we never got a chance to elaborate further on that. But I did ask her this: what caused you to seek this community out?
2 years ago, I shared in this community as a little myself because I was going through a lot of stress because all my friends were leaving me and I had a bunch of stuff going on in real life at home, and my online friends were leaving too. So I was basically trying to find a thing to cope with instead of alcohol like my mom does, or cutting myself also like my mom used to do. So I was trying to not be anything harmful, but I needed something that would help me out. And I did a lot of research and I found Little Space. So I used that and it started to help me out. And I started online. I was 12 at the time, trying to cope any way I could. That wasn't putting myself out, because instead of Little Space before, when I was 11, I was exploding myself out to pedophiles.
Yeah. At this point, I dropped the entire idea of interviewing her and her community. I think I'm going to make an entirely separate video called Do Not Allow Your Children on VRChat. If any authorities are interested in the things that she's said here, please feel free to reach out to me. My email's in my bio. Just for the record, this girl says that she does live outside of the United States, so I'm not even really sure what the United States government can do about it. I'm kind of at a loss for words here.